Hello, party people. This is Marshall Lee of DonkeyJobProjects.com, and this is Early Bird Artcast number 3. And I don't necessarily have a topic or anything, but yeah, we're just gonna be in here for about a half an hour today. I got to work on some comics and get this video up so I can see the El Chato. So see if I can make that happen. Let's see. Where's that live event? So how's everybody doing today? I'm doing all right. It's let's see, what did I say? It's 6 a.m. in the morning. A.m. in the morning. And I gotta get started on page 6 of Darby Cufflink, Gentleman Avenger of Comics. So here goes nothing. um always a little bit hesitant to get to the next page, I guess. But one way I can get to it without being too freaked out is start by making panel borders. And I love this little line tool here that somebody told me about. You just start drawing lines and like it ain't nothing. Oh, let me get a layer going. Let's see if we could keep all the lines on one layer this time. Well, I mean, sometimes I put the panel borders on a different layer, but and I've been doing these at about 25 width brush size, but I kind of feel like it should be bigger. Should go with 50, see what happens with that. I like that size. I'll go with that for now. Dave, hey, what's up? That's good. Good to hear. I did put a link in our little list there. I added you to the list. I don't know if you noticed on Facebook Messenger. So, when you're able to, during one of these things, feel free to jump in when I post the link, the linkage. Peter Dinklage with the linkage. I don't know. That's what happens when you're a rapper. You start making random rhymes from time to time. Hey, I did it again. I guess. I guess you don't have to be a rapper to do that, though. I've been I was talking about punk rock yesterday, and that I'm doing like research and stuff a little bit on punk rock, and it just anytime my problem with listening to music and getting into music or like kind of researching music is it makes me want to make music. And that can be an issue sometimes because I don't have time to make music. I make I'm working on comics, but I want to so bad. And for the next comic, the Corn Cob Rob comic, I'm not sure if I'm going to call it Corn Cob Rob or not. We'll see. But it makes me want to make like some theme music, and I've been wanting to kind of do this kind of fusion thing or whatever. I don't know if fusion's the right word, but do this thing where I like kind of um where I kind of fuse hip hop and really anything but hip hop and punk, and kind of go at making hip hop, at least instrumentals, um, the way I would if I was like making punk rock, meaning like some kid who doesn't know how to play the guitar starting with three chords and an electric guitar that they found, that they could barely swing. Somehow they got one, and just starting to make songs. um, Kind of that punk rock ethic of just do it yourself with whatever you have, and like I can make fully produced like hip hop, to a certain extent, but you know kind of being a little more crude with it, and like I have ideas of how I can approach that, and I'm really excited to play with those ideas. And I hope I get a chance to, like, maybe I can take some time off one of these weekends and work on it. But those things tend to take longer than I expect, and then I've lost a day or something, or a bunch of time here and there, and I feel like I'd have to wait to do that kind of thing until I'm caught up. Like I'm starting to create a buffer on comics, so I don't know. We'll see. One thing also, I was looking. I got in some these deleter comic pages from like they're like manga style comic pages to draw on, and they're almost like close to 11 by or 8.5 by 11. It's more like 8 by 11.5, which is weird, but I guess that's A4 paper for the rest of the world besides America. um, and let's see. Um, yeah, I don't know. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm looking forward to it, and that's what I'm going to probably create the Corn Cob Rob comic with. So I'll be starting on that pretty soon. I haven't actually written a script. I might even just go at it without writing a script. I don't know. I kind of have an idea of what direction I want the story to go in. Um, so I'm not sure. Um, some ugly lines there. um, so yeah, I'm gonna start using those pages. They're I'm going at I'm the thing is with this whole punk rock stuff, like even though it's not just research for this one specific story, um it's it's inspiring me. It's inspirational just for everything that I do, because I want to like I just waste so much time like in kind of the preparatory stages or trying to get everything right and ready um, with comics, and I just need to use what I have and go and make it happen. instead of trying to get all my ducks in a row first. And that's what I'm doing here. That's why I kind of created this whole thing to make one comic every month. Um, and so that's what I'm doing. So Dave Hingley asks, how are you finding working digitally? How is it working out for you? Um, it is working out all right. I mean, it's weird because I'm doing kind of this crude style right now. So it's like I don't know if I'm really building my skills up or not. Um, but I guess I am. I'm getting used to it. I'm just getting used to like the shortcuts and whatnot. I'm not sure why. So okay, I guess. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I'm enjoying it. I think it's awesome. It's interesting though. Like there is a definitely a difference working digitally and traditionally, and I think I get tired quicker working digitally. I don't really know. I mean, it might be just because I've been putting more hours in, but I feel like it's a little more tiring. Maybe having to do with looking at the screen all day, or I've always found computer work to be more draining than traditional work, I think. Part of it too is because with traditional, I actually very often I'll work just sitting on the couch. um, so that's a lot easier than sitting upright at your desk and kind of well, I should say like hunched over because, I haven't found a setup that does something different than that yet. I mean, I could put the tablet up, but when I've done that, um, my hand falls asleep a little bit. So I don't know what to do about that. Um, so yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm finding that I'm getting like pretty used to it pretty quickly. Like, I mean, this isn't the best like, looking at this stuff you might think it's not the best representation of, oh yeah, he can do whatever he wants, the same as on traditional, but something like this, I'm getting, you know, this is like me kind of working, trying to make a really cool, pretty picture or awesome picture. Whereas this is me making comics and going for a crude style. So, um, I'm finding that I'm able to get just as good results, um, even better to a certain extent because I don't have to, like when it comes to like some almost like a painting type of piece that I'm if I'm doing that, like it's so much easier to do it digitally than to try to, have the right kind of brushes and the right kind of paints and mix paints and uh, the cleaning the brushes and stuff like that. So much easier to do it with digital. And I think, I almost would never want to, like, I'm literally thinking about getting rid of or at least putting away all of my art supplies, except for the stuff that's like for inking, so that I have more room because I don't really need it anymore. And I don't really want to color traditionally that much. I mean, I guess I'll keep some markers just in case, but I mean, I can put them in a place where I put them away and grab them if I need them. It's almost like getting rid of them will kind of force me to work digitally anyways. So I don't know, but I dig it. I really dig it. Like I'm definitely sold on digital and happy to work that way a lot. But I'll never stop working traditionally though too. Like I enjoy that just as much, and it's more convenient sometimes when it comes to like comics, penciling and inking and stuff. So, but yeah, Dave, did you? I wasn't sure if you saw. I'm hoping I connected with the right Dave. I'm pretty sure I did because it looks like you when I look at the profile. But I don't know if you saw that I added you to the to a Facebook message thing or not. But I did, so check that out. I don't know if I put that detail. Yeah, I don't think I put that detail in the other drawings of him, or maybe I did sometimes. It's going to be an inconsistency. I mean, I could always just do it here and be like, all right, okay, that detail's in there. Because that's the only place I maybe didn't do it. Saving recovery information. Save real information. Take a sip of coffee while my computer thinks. Oh, good. I'm glad you got the message. Cool. Just want to make sure. And I mean, I don't know if it's weird or not, but like maybe as the community grows, people will get to know each other. But feel free to chat there if you want as well, and I'll just post the link too. But also, I was thinking like if this does get kind of bigger, what I might end up doing is creating a private group on Facebook. Right now there's not really a need for that, um, but yeah, I was thinking that I might do that. Give him a nice like chin there. Um, yeah, but I thought that might be kind of cool, especially if people want to talk amongst themselves or start topics that are interesting and related to whatever we're talking about. I don't know if anybody will get into this that much or not, but it just seems like maybe it would be a cool way to do it. I like Facebook groups. One thing with like complicated costumes, like this, if I was really going all out, like the first drawing I did of this guy, he had like everything you could imagine would be like in a 90s comic character, like chains and spikes and guns and swords. He kind of has that here, but I pared it down for this you know, for this because it's just easier to draw him if he's not like super duper complicated. And I think you get the point, with as much detail as I have put in. So I kind of took the easy way out as usual. I shouldn't say as usual. I don't always take the easy way out, that's for sure. So I got this deleter paper, like I was saying, and it's interesting. Just kind of first thoughts as I look at it is it's a thinner paper, but I heard it's still really good. I mean, some people were saying it's better than Bristol board. It's not as thick, but it maybe it performs better when you draw an ink on it. I don't know. We'll see. And it's smaller, which is interesting. It's kind of like a typical computer you know, printer paper. Um, so that's interesting. Um, and like, I don't like to draw small actually, which is maybe will end up being an issue. You get 40 pages for $10, so that's not bad at all. You get a lot done with that. Um, but you know, there's a different way that manga artists work compared to how American artists work, and they split the page up. Like we tend to split it up in three sections, and they tend to when they're like kind of planning it. I mean, obviously you do all kinds of things, um, but we tend to kind of plan it for like 3 pages, or I mean 3 sections. Um, so they kind of split the page in half the way they kind of approach it. Um, and so I don't know, like I think it lends more towards being able to draw your characters kind of bigger on a smaller space. So I don't know. I'm kind of trying that style anyways. I've even started doing that with this comic. Um, a friend of mine, Foy Storm, talked about it on one of his videos. Um, Definitely check out his YouTube channel. Foy is awesome. Um, but he talked about manga being like he heard somebody say in a comment somewhere that manga is kind of more something you look at um, than something you read. whereas American comics is more something you read than something you look at. It's just, it's not like, obviously, American comics, are just as beautiful or whatever and artistic. You know, that's not exactly what was being said there. Um, but there's more of an emphasis on just the visual part of it, I guess, when creating a manga. Apparently. Hey, Teresa, how you doing? Just finished watching a previous early bird art cast, and this came on. What a quinky dink! I have that deleter paper. I use it for pencils and then do the inks digitally or on Bristol board using a Lightbox. Interesting. Have you tried inking on it? Um, do you not ink on it because it doesn't work quite well? Also, Teresa, if you want to be added to the list of people I send the link to come on the live show from time to time, it'll be kind of random. It'll generally be around this time in the morning for about an hour. But also, like on the weekends, it'll be, probably later if I do it and for longer times or whatever. But, you know, I'd be happy to have you on the show. It'll be public and live like this. So, just a fair warning. But I know we've chatted with the group of artists many times before in private, and that's been fun. But, if you'd want to come on anytime, that'd be cool. I'd love to have you and chat with you. Kind of morning show style, like morning radio show. I don't know if where you're from, if they, I would assume they also have like morning shows and stuff, like on the radio. But that's kind of what this is in a artsy version, I guess. And I don't do it every day. It's just whenever I can and feel like it, I guess. I'm gonna try to do it more frequently though. And thanks for watching the other one. Hopefully you got something from it. I won't even necessarily always be talking about art. We could talk about all kinds of different things. But I'll add you to the Facebook list if you like. Cool. Do. So let's do a time check. Yeah, it's about that time already. Let's see. Could probably throw a few more lines down here and there. But yeah, see, it's like that's one thing too I like about these is like approaching kind of a blank page, even though there's thumbnails behind it, is always intimidating still. And sitting here doing this, talking to you guys while doing it is like so much better. I'm just like, okay, look at all that work I did. And and I I kind of broke the ice with this comic page. So it's pretty cool. So I'm using you guys for my selfish artisms. Let's see. How do I want to do this? Could just kind of. Oh, am I on the right thing? Could use this. I've been using this one a lot. It's just a smaller one. That is ugly. I should start with this side so that I don't go too deep over the border. Oh, that's pretty good. Not just erase. A little bit. Here, let me zoom in. I miss chatting with everybody. We used to do that a lot. But, you know, everybody's busy and things happen. That'll work. That'll move the chains. All right. Maybe I'll kind of thicken things a little bit here. Do I find inking digitally less stressful? No, I don't think so. It's probably a little more stressful, but I think it's because I'm still way more used to inking traditionally, and I'm also the type of artist who's okay with like when I make mistakes, kind of more probably than most people. But that being said, when I do ink traditionally, I guess I am starting to get a little bit more frustrated. Um, because there's certain changes I can't make um, traditionally that I can digitally. Um, you're in the private group, Teresa, and I think you saw the post I did recently where I showed an inked piece of art, and I'm gonna have to redo the whole piece, which won't be too crazy, but still, I'm gonna have to redo the whole piece to fix some proportional issues that digitally I could easily just fix by selecting and morphing it and all that fun stuff. So you know that part it's frustrating, but not stressful. I actually find the act of traditionally inking very kind of meditative, and I just enjoy it immensely, actually. So, how do you write get him? Like, I don't want to not em, like get him. I mean, I could maybe I'll just write him. That'll just make it easier instead of trying to do some kind of weird slangy vernacular or whatever. Oops, why did I pressed H? I don't even know what that does. All right. All right. Cool. So I think that's about it. Get him. Oh, okay. I like that. Thanks, dude. Like maybe I'll do that then. Yeah, let me just do that then. Dave coming through. I know it when I see it, but I haven't written it like that before. So now I'm like second guessing. Oh, I pressed I. Or it's because I'm like trying to press what I'm typing. It's weird. Or writing. Gives me more room too. Get him. That'll work. All right. And that I think is going to be a wrap, guys and gals, guy and girl. Oh, I was gonna say I noticed that I was looking for a clipboard this morning, and I looked in a box and I realized I have corn cob Rob pins that I made, colored pins. They're really cool. So anybody who, first of all, if you want to read this comic or any of the comics I do on a monthly basis, you can go to patreon.com/donkeyjawprojects and you can sign up for only $1 a month and be able to read all of them. And also, I'm sending physical, like it asks you for your actual address. So I'm sending physical things from time to time, just randomly, as gifts and thank yous, for people pledging and stuff. So I'm thinking I might send these pins at some point. Probably would make sense to do that as the first thing, but I was really hoping to do a postcard this first time. And it'll be like little things like a postcard or a pin, stuff that I can afford to send. So, if you want to sign up, you can get some free physical stuff too from time to time. All right. So other than that, I'm gonna get going. I got to get to work. I really appreciate you guys coming in and hanging out. Thanks, Teresa and Dave, for hanging out with me here. And everybody who's watching on the replay, thank you as well. And I will talk to you the next time I do a video. All right. Peace out, everybody.